Kolik bylo těch lidí, kteří tam byli na těch P Diddy parties? Docela dlouhý list, že? S tím, co včera mají, budeme rádi, že se to dá dohromady do dalšího roku. No ten soud má prej být někdy v květnu prostě, no. Jdeme se kouknout na Jay-Z and P Diddy od Pingvinza. Náš oblíbený, naolejovaný rapper. A on má mít soud někdy v květnu, nebo kdy, že? Ukáž nějaký novinky možná o něm, ne? Nebo co?
In music industry history has been getting more and more horrible things about it coming to light. It would take hours to go over every crime he's accused of. It is a list that goes on and on, filled with the most awful, unimaginable things possible. It would be easier to talk about crimes he isn't accused of committing. Like, he probably started dying and dashing just for the sake of adding more crimes to his resume. And today we received some new information with one of the many celebrities that associated with P. Diddy over the years, Jay-Z, who is now accused in a civil lawsuit.
Ten je prej asi tam očenej taky a ještě prej asi i Beyoncé. Slyšeli jste to taky, ne?
Of raping a 13-year-old at an after party.
No, tak těch tam bylo hodně, že? Těch znásilnění. Prosím tě, jestli to bude na YouTube, vycenzuruj to, pane editore, děkuji. Tady to budeš muset hodně cenzurovat, ale hodně cenzurovat.
With P. Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity who was there watching.
Since Combs was indicted by federal prosecutors last fall, these parties he was known for hosting and what celebrities may have attended has been the subject of intense scrutiny. But the blast radius around the star had been relatively contained.
Co je scrutiny? Scrutiny.
Until now.
The P. Diddy party list is a lot like the Epstein list in terms of rich and powerful people that attended them. A lot of people, myself included, have wondered if these names will ever even see the light of day because they have the means of burying it potentially. But luckily, that doesn't seem to be the case here now that Jay-Z has been named. But they should all be named, and hopefully they will over the course of this case. Make like a game of guess who and name them. Because the shit that happened at these parties is terrible, horrible, just deplorable shit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we learned that P. Diddy threw a party where they dug up Jeffrey Dahmer's
Bude někdy P. Diddy party. Nechce bejt, jaký P. Diddy.
And paraded around Weekend at Bernie's style or something. Like, the things that have reportedly happened there are things that everyone associated needs to face.
To jsou brutality, to tady nebudu říkat, to se editor zblázní, když budeme muset všechno cenzurovat.
And now Jay-Z is the first one that has been named.
The anonymous woman who was 13 at the time described in the lawsuit as being drugged and raped at an MTV VMA's after party she says Combs hosted in 2000. According to the suit, she recalls accepting a drink from a waitress, feel woozy and lightheaded, before she says she was raped by Jay-Z and then Combs in a bedroom as an unnamed female celebrity watched.
There's a lot of people that have been running defense, kind of just
Další bezejmenná celebrita se na to koukala.
playing like the pseudo PR department for celebrities that have attended P. Diddy's parties but are innocent of any wrongdoing, saying things like, yeah, they may have attended a party, you know, hootenanny or two of P. Diddy's, but they didn't know anything was bad there. They didn't
Počká, co dělala 13letá holka na P. Diddyho party, kámo.
know there were any kids there or any victims of sex trafficking. They just went to a party. They had no clue. And I feel like that's a load of fucking horseradish because you would know that that is a child. That is a 13-year-old. That is a toddler. They just stopped believing in Santa Claus. There's no way you wouldn't know that there were kids there if there's 13-year-olds running around. That's craziness. And that wouldn't be a huge red flag to any of these celebrities. Like, it's not normal to have a 13-year-old at a fucking VMA after party. And a 13-year-old being
proč tam měli jako tyhle mladý holky, ty vole, jako na takový party, kámo.
Served a drink. Like, that waitress would know they just served a drink to a child. Even if the waitress didn't know that it was spiked, why are you serving a 13-year-old kid alcohol? This is why I think everyone that attended these parties is very likely guilty of some heinous
Už to je velmi
so
zvláštní, no.
this 13-year-old was allegedly served the spiked drink that made her feel woozy and was then raped by Jay-Z and then P. Diddy, and apparently an unnamed female celebrity was watching. I'm pretty surprised they didn't name the female celebrity here. I don't really understand why. Maybe that's for like a different case coming up.
Jay-Z swiftly issuing a statement Sunday calling the claims heinous and accusing the woman's attorney of trying to blackmail him. suggesting the attorney had tried to seek a settlement first, adding, quote, "I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world." The couple will have to explain the, quote, "cruelty and greed of people to their children." Combs, too, has denied any allegations of sexual assault.
Jay-Z is strongly denying these claims, and one thing that's important to note here is that the lawyer, Tony Busby, he's not squeaky clean. This is no saint here. He's got some dirty laundry of his own. He actually did get sued not too long ago for an alleged assault on a former client, and then got sued again for extortion, where
To je sebranka, ty vole.
a celebrity and their team have accused Tony Busby of throwing out wildly false, horrific allegations, fabricated allegations of sexual assault, and has a pattern of leveling baseless and fabricated malicious allegations at high-profile individuals and threatening to name them publicly if they fail to pay exorbitant sums of money. So fundamentally what they're claiming is that Tony Busby indulges in rumor to leverage bad headlines and bad press for celebrities, so that way they will just settle out of court with him. Now, it's very possible that that extortion lawsuit is from a celebrity who has attended these Diddy parties and is panicking, trying to cover their own ass by trying to assassinate Tony Busby's character. That's possible too. There's no way of knowing for sure right now. I just thought it was worth mentioning that Tony Busby does have a little poop on his butt. But that doesn't mean, and there's no evidence to suggest, that he or the victims he represents are lying about their allegations. This case has just begun. It's the first one that has named another celebrity outside of P. Diddy, so we'll see as the facts continue to come out. Right now, there's no evidence.
Kolik bylo těch lidí, kteří tam byli na těch P Diddy parties? Docela dlouhý list, že? S tím, co včera mají, budeme rádi, že se to dá dohromady do dalšího roku. No ten soud má prý být někdy v květnu, prostě no. To máš za půl roku až teprve.
Evidence to suggest that this is all made up, and there's also no evidence to confirm any of the allegations.
On říká, že to všichni vymysleli, protože chcou jeho peníze nebo co, že prostě mu závidějí slávu na takový keci prostě má proti tomu ten Diddy. To si úplně jako chabí, no.
Because it's still just too early into this case. So I'll keep my finger on the pulse of it. I'm sure this will be a very big case that'll be talked about a lot. And I do want to just say, even if it turns out that this case isn't real against Jay-Z, I still don't believe Jay-Z is innocent of like wrongdoing. He was so close with P. Diddy for so many years, there is no fucking way. There is no chance on God's green earth that Jay-Z didn't know about the horrible shit that
jako jo, no. I kdyby v tom nebyl jako zapojený ten Jay-Z, tak o tom musel minimálně vědět, jestli byli takhle jako blízcí kámoši, vole.
Was doing, because these parties, like, it was all right in their faces. It wasn't a secret per se. Like the celebrities that attended knew that there was some foul, fishy shit going on there. If you had kids running around at parties, and even if this 13-year-old that Tony Busby's representing turns out like never even went to a P. Diddy party or something, there still are tons and tons of other cases with overwhelming amounts of evidence to suggest that there were kids at these P. Diddy parties. And celebrities, I think, would know what a...
Tady je P. Diddy, vidíš to? P. Diddy, tady měl být I, že jo, Luknere. Jako P. Diddy party.
What a kid looks like.
Mají stejné tetování s Beyoncé a s Diddym, to je určitě jenom náhodička.
Versus an adult.
Fakt,
so I just don't think someone as close to P. Diddy as Jay-Z was would possibly be squeaky clean here. Like, they would know about a lot of these crimes. Even if he didn't directly participate in them, I think him knowing about it and refusing to do anything is still extremely fucking horrible too. But again, this case has just come out, so we'll learn about whether or not these claims are true as it develops.
Yeah.
Now, in a statement posted online, Busby, the lawyer, acknowledged sending Jay-Z a letter prior to filing this complaint, prior to this whole thing, seeking a confidential mediation, but says his client never demanded a penny from Jay-Z. At the time, she is now seeking an unspecified amount in damages, guys.
Jay-Z did post a lengthy response, basically saying Tony is an ambulance chaser that's attempting to blackmail him and extort him for money, using some absolutely horrific allegations to try and have him cave in and settle and just pay a bunch of money based on
Další sraz nazveme P Diddy party.
nothing at all. And Tony
prosím.
Busby then responded saying that it's not blackmail at all, and says, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He even filed this frivolous case under a pseudonym, and then he confirms that he did send a letter prior to this lawsuit, but it was looking for confidential mediation and never demanded a single penny from Jay-Z. Now, I haven't passed the bar. I barely passed my fucking SATs, so I'm not going to pretend to understand how lawsuits work, but what I do know is that in a civil lawsuit, Jay-Z's not necessarily going to go to jail if it turns out all of this is true and he's found guilty on all counts of this lawsuit. It would then go to paying out an unspecified amount of damages, as the news segment covered there. So I don't understand the sending a letter for confidential mediation and exactly what that entails. I really don't get the whole scope of it. All I know is that this is the first celebrity outside of P. Diddy that has now been accused of horrible things at P. Diddy's parties, and I think that this will be the first of many. Again, I really feel there is a huge number of celebrities that either participated in or knew about a lot of the illegal, horrible, vile shit that was happening with P. Diddy and his parties. And I guess we'll see if Jay-Z is one of those celebrities that knew or participated soon enough. Like, this case just started, so we'll see what happens. That's really about it. See ya.
OK, Charlie. Ty vole, no. Jay-Z bude taky uviděný, jo. Jaký debil si ze všech potenciálních pseudonymů vybere zrovna taky hloupý, jako takový hloupý jméno jako Diddy? Nevím, vole, kámo.